All right, let's talk about meditation. We're going to completely flip the script on it today. What if I told you that the single most frustrating part of your practice, that wandering mind, what if that wasn't a failure at all? What if it was actually the whole point? Does this sound familiar? You sit down, you're all set to find that inner peace, and bam. Seconds later, your mind is gone. It's planning dinner, it's replaying some awkward conversation, it's stressing about tomorrow. It feels less like meditating and more like you're in a wrestling match with your own brain, right? And you're losing. And see, that's the trap. It's the exact trap so many of us fall right into. We've got this idea that the goal is to have a totally calm, totally blank mind. So of course, when our mind does what minds do, which is think and wander, we get so frustrated. We think, I failed. And that cycle of trying, wandering, and then feeling like a failure, that's probably the #1 reason people just give up. So what's really happening here? Well, in meditation, there are kind of two big ideas to get our heads around. First, you've got samatha. That's all about developing calmness. Then you have vipassana, and that's about developing real wisdom or insight. Now, here's the kicker. If we get obsessed only with being calm, we can actually block ourselves from getting to the good stuff, the wisdom. Think of calmness as a tool, It's not the end goal. So how do we get out of this mess? A meditation teacher, Fra Ajahn Krit, has this absolutely brilliant idea. He says, stop treating meditation like a chore or some test you're constantly failing. Instead, what if you thought of it as a game? Just that one little shift in how you see it, it changes everything. And you know what? The rules to this game are super simple. Just 3 steps. Step 1, you hang out at a home base. Could be your breath, a sound, whatever. Step 2, and trust me, this part is going to happen. Your mind gets lost. It wanders off. And then, step 3, you just know that it got lost. That's it. That's the whole game, right there. Okay, so if this is a game, how do you score points? This is where it gets really, really cool. The way you score is probably the exact opposite of what you think, and honestly, that's what makes this whole thing so powerful. Get this. Staying all calm and focused at your home base, 0 points. Nothing. That's just you showing up to the playing field. The points, the only way to score is in step 3. It's that exact moment you realize, oh, my mind wandered off. Every single time you catch yourself lost in thought, ding, 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 you score a point. I mean, think about that. It totally flips the script. You literally cannot score points if your mind doesn't wander off first. So that wandering mind, the thing we beat ourselves up about, the thing we think is a bug, it's not a bug. It's a feature. It's a necessary part of the game. You actually need it to get lost so you can play. But okay, there's a little more to it. Not all points are worth the same. The quality of how you notice, your awareness in that split second, that determines your score. You can get a low score, or you can rack up some serious bonus points. So what's a low-scoring play look like? It's when you notice you're lost and immediately go, not again, that frustration. Or maybe you start analyzing why you got lost, or you try to muscle your mind back to your breath. All that interference, it doesn't just score low, it actually kicks you out of the game for a bit. You're too busy judging and fixing to get back to playing. And hey, if that sounds familiar, don't sweat it. It happens to literally everyone. Fra Ajahn Krit even talks about how for about a year, he would get lost in thought and then spend the entire rest of his meditation just analyzing the fact that he was lost. He'd even start mentally preparing talks about it. He'd only snap out of it when the final bell rang. So yeah, it's really, really easy to get stuck in that analysis loop instead of just playing. So what about that high score? The game-winning move? It's when you notice your mind wandered and you just know it. That's it. Impartially, no judgment, no big effort to fix anything. It's just a light, simple, oh, the mind was lost, and then you gently come back to your home base and get ready for the next round. See, every time you make that high-scoring play, you're building something. You're developing what's called a high-quality knowing mind. And this is where we get to the idea of a truly stable mind. Now, stable doesn't mean blank, and it's not about forcing yourself to be calm. No, a stable mind is one that can stand apart and just watch things, thoughts, feelings, as they come and go, without getting tangled up in them, without interfering. That's real stability. It's an awake, alert, knowing presence. To help us picture this, another great teacher, Lungpa Pramot, gives us 3 qualities to look for. He says this knowing mind feels light, totally weightless. It's also incredibly short, like a flash. And it's completely silent. So why those qualities? Well, it's weightless because you're not piling on the stress of trying to fix yourself. You've dropped that heavy burden. And it's silent because the moment of pure knowing is so fast, so instantaneous, that your inner commentary, your inner voice, literally can't keep up. There's no time for words. You just know. Boom. That's it. All right, so we've got the rules. We know how to score high. But why? What's the ultimate prize here? What's the point of playing this game over and over and over again? What's the real endgame? Well, this is the whole point. Every single time you score one of those high-quality points, every time you know without judgment, you are directly developing vipassana. You're developing genuine wisdom. You're literally training yourself to see your mind for what it is. And with each one of those little moments, you start to see its true nature, that it's always changing. And this simple little game, believe it or not, it's the first step on an incredibly profound path. You play the game over and over. That develops the impartial, knowing mind. That mind, in turn, allows you to see the true nature of things. You start to see how everything just pops up and then vanishes. That direct seeing is called right view, and that's the key that unlocks the door to becoming what's called a stream enterer. So what on earth is a stream enterer? In Buddhist teachings, a sotapanna is someone who has had such a clear glimpse of reality that they've basically stepped into a current, a river that flows directly to full enlightenment. And once you're in that stream, you're guaranteed to get there. It might take up to 7 more lifetimes, but you're on your way. In the cosmic scale of things, that's practically nothing. So let's wrap this up. The biggest takeaway here is all about your attitude when you sit down. Stop aiming for a perfect, calm mind. It's a setup for failure. Instead, sit down with a mind that's actually ready to get lost. Be willing for it to happen, because now you know that's how you score. That's how you play the game. So here's your new game plan. It's simple. 1. Pick a home base. 2. Fully expect your mind to wander. In fact, welcome it. 3. The second you notice it happened, that's your moment. Celebrate it. That's a point for you. And 4. Just gently, with no drama, come on back to your home base to start the next play. So in the end, maybe the path to wisdom isn't about winning some brutal fight against your mind. Maybe it's just about getting really, really good at a simple, gentle game of noticing. So the only question is, are you ready to stop fighting with yourself and finally start playing?